Hello and welcome to Healing Ceilings Artist Interviews, where we interview artists and inspire others to live life beautifully. Join us on this Healing Ceiling movement.
Hello and welcome. Today we have Pi Williams with us. Thank you, Pi, for joining us today.
Hi, thank you.
Now, Pi, with your work, it's quite different to what most people are doing at the moment, and it's vibrant and it's bright. Can you explain what you do, what your style is, and how it started? Have you always been an artist?
After my first son was born, which I would say 7 years ago now, I thought I kind of needed an outlet. I was going through postnatal depression, and that's what kind of got me into my art journey. And so from then I started tinkering with like watercolors and ceramics and printmaking, because I had a fine arts background, and I remembered that I enjoyed creating with these things. And so I kind of wanted to kind of revisit those things and see what kind of like would grab my attention. And so that was like when my creative journey started. So I started doing that, and then a few years after that, I went to a weaving class. It was like a 2 hours workshop, and that kind of got me into working with wool and with yarn, with textiles. And so that's kind of what triggered me to work with textiles. And I thought, oh, you know, I've got lots of wool, lots of yarn at home. What else can I do with these things? And so I started kind of searching for something else as well. And I came up with punch needle, and that's when my punch needle journey had begun. At that time, I was painting, so I was painting with acrylics. I did a couple of commissions, yes. But at that time, I would say I still didn't actually call myself an artist. I was kind of like a practicing artist, I guess. Yeah. And then after discovering punch needle, I fell in love with it straight away, and I practiced. And then I thought, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to continue doing. And so that's when I thought, yep, I'm going to be an artist, and this is what I'm going to do. And it's been about 2 years now, and I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying what I do.
Incredible. And I love that it started as an outlet, and obviously there was play, and I would assume
exactly
in that play and that experimentation, obviously that's where magic happens, but also there is that healing. And did it help you on that journey?
Definitely, and it helped me quite a bit. I felt happy when I was creating. And so back then I was still kind of painting and drawing, as well as creating with textiles. And I just felt so much joy. And I kind of got out of that kind of negative headspace. And I thought, you know, I knew that this was going to help me. And yeah, ever since that, I haven't really gone back to that kind of headspace. And this is why I also wanted to kind of teach people to kind of do what I do. And that's why I have workshops, because if I could kind of help someone out there to kind of get out of their headspace and to do something and create something and kind of use their creativity and to find happiness, like how I did with creating with textiles, and I'd love to do that. And I love that I can kind of inspire people through my workshops as well.
You've definitely inspired people. I think since first meeting you and obviously following your journey and seeing your art, I'm seeing it now more and more so on social media, and even in big shops, the punch needles. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Pi's inspired. It's just so fantastic. And I understand that journey of getting out of that mindset, because when I think it was just after I had surgery and I was recovering physically, I was also coming off some of the medications that are quite intense and affect your mindset. And so the one day I was pretty dark, and I remember we went to, I think it was just like to Bunnings, and my husband was just letting me buy all these different things. And I was like, what's this man doing? Why is he saying yes to everything as such? But I came home and I played with wood and I painted with watercolors and I took photos and made flower wreaths, and all in that one day just did everything and anything I could to create. And I didn't realize what I was doing. But then that night I overheard my husband speaking to his mom, just saying, "Mom, she's creating, she's forgetting about her pain." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing. That's what
that
I'm
is exactly right. Yeah. That is so
yeah.
true.
So it's wonderful. I totally understand what you're talking about there. And it's also wonderful that you've never had to go back into that space.
I feel like when I'm away from it for too long, I do feel like, oh, I need to get back in. Like it kind of affects me mentally.
Yes.
Because creating has now kind of been a major part of my life. And it just seems like it's calling me, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
What made you say yes to being part of the Healing Ceilings artist team?
So when I first got the email from you, and I read about Healing Ceilings, I just loved the idea. I love the concept, and to know that my art can kind of be in a place that can create joy. It's like a hospital or a clinic. I just had to say yes straight away. And I just feel like art has always helped me, like mentally helped me. And, if we can kind of spread art in this way, it didn't take me long to say yes. I instantly felt connected with it, to know that like other artists are also collaborating and coming into this. I just felt like I just wanted to be part of it. Yeah.
We're obviously so glad that you are on team with us. And I think too, because you've also been so generous with your art, I suppose the skills that you teach people and techniques, and it's not like you shy away from opening up in any way.
I just feel like if people are willing to kind of learn from me in my workshops, or like even sometimes I have like random people message me and ask me like, oh, what do I use, and that kind of thing. I kind of like tell them.
Yes.
I just feel like I don't need to keep it a secret. Like I just wanted to share what I know. I thought, workshops would be a great way to kind of like share my knowledge and share this joy.
So then with your workshops and obviously with your art, where can people find you?
So you can find me on Instagram at Pi Williams Art, or you can find me on my website at piwilliamsart.com. I'm also on Pinterest as well, Facebook, Pinterest, and YouTube. I don't have that much on YouTube at the moment, but I'm hoping that I can create some more instruction videos and kind of upload them onto YouTube. So that's where you can find me.
Watch the space. That's awesome.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. So then, if just before we finish up, is there anything that either you've learned along the way, or something that other creatives can be inspired to do, or a hot tip for the future creatives?
I think in terms of like being an artist, I just feel like you just need to keep creating. And even if you feel stuck or anything like that, you can kind of give yourself a bit of a break. But what I've learned is that to be good at something, you need to kind of keep creating and keep working on it and keep practicing. And that's what I like to tell my students, is that you just need to keep practicing to perfect whatever you're trying to create. So like whether it's like working with textiles or painting or whatever medium that you choose to create with, the main thing is that to kind of keep going with it and to experiment and just to practice.
Oh, absolutely.
And you will get there.
Yeah. And I think too, I mean, artists are using Instagram as a platform to present their work. I think there's also pressures through Instagram that you need to just be made by the next day. But art is that process, and it is the working on the skills and every single day, like building on those skills. So that's
exactly. Exactly. Yeah. You're just practicing, and there's a lot of things that you don't see on social media. But yeah, there's a lot of experimenting, a lot of practicing, and I have created, lots of things that don't work, and it's not something that you would kind of post on social media because it's not. It doesn't look pretty, kind of thing. But in my workshops, I do tell my students that, like, there are things that I've created and it hasn't worked, and it doesn't matter. It's all part of the process. It's all part of practicing and experimenting. And I feel like I've experimented with the medium and with punch needle and with hand embroidery, and that's how I kind of, got to the style that I'm creating right now. And so if you kind of keep going and keep experimenting, like, I feel like you shouldn't limit yourself to anything. Like, you can combine like lots of different things together, depending on your experience or what you've used before, as well. So I like, the goal is to kind of just keep going and keep creating, and keep doing what you love and what makes you feel joy.
Yes.
You'll feel it, you'll feel it, and you'll want to continue doing it. So
That's fantastic. That really is. And thank you for giving us your time today.
no worries.
I
lovely
see a little Baba there. It's so great that you
Yes.
can give us time while being mum.
If you would like to hear more from us at Healing Ceilings, then head to our website, healingceilings.com.au, or our social media, which is Healing Ceilings Australia. You will find us there. LinkedIn, you can look for me, Claire Rackley, and I will direct you to wherever you'd like to go. But we want to make connections. So follow us, like us, tag our things. Let's continue this Healing Ceilings movement.